I must say, I was a little bit nervous about the perilla butter, but it works so well with this. It works really, really well. But I'm wondering if that's because I'm familiar with the flavor of perilla. I'm wondering if you're not Korean, how you might take it. So we're gonna go bring this to Rob, my partner. And he'll be the final taste tester. He'll be our guinea pig. What a lucky guy.
I like this.
You like it?
Yeah.
If I haven't told you that it was a king crab roll, would you know that it's a king crab?
I wouldn't.
You would think that it's lobster roll?
I would think it's a lobster roll, yeah. 100%.
King crab rolls. This is hot.
Whoa, those legs are huge. Pick one of them up.
Pick one of these up.
Put it next to your arm. Next to your arm.
Next to my arm.
Look at that. It's the size of her forearm.
It is the size of my arm, literally. Right, and this is just half actually, because normally they're attached like this, and this is just one leg. So imagine how big these crabs are, right? I mean, this is the size of my arm, let's be real. I do have small arms, but still. You could literally knock someone with this. You could just like, yeah, don't with me. Just kidding. Anyway, all right, so I have these beautiful Alaskan king crabs, and they're already cooked, they're frozen. What I'm gonna do with it is you can cut it up. Literally, you can just like cut up the shell. See? So it is tender enough that you could do this with your shears, but I feel like what I want to do is I do want to give them a quick grill. Just kind of like deciding how I want to do this. Let me just test one. Wait a minute. But before I work on my crab, I want to work on my clarified butter. So basically, clarified butter is butter when you melt it. It's the milk and the fat separates, and the fat part of it is the clarified butter. So it's like almost working with oil. That's what it looks like. So it's basically just melting the butter, and I want to infuse some flavors. So I'm gonna do that first because I want to give it some time to infuse. So I'm gonna infuse it with 깻잎. So 깻잎 is perilla leaves. This is like my favorite thing in the whole entire world. I freaking love this. It's like a Korean herb, but it's also, it's not like an herb either. It's almost like a vegetable. Usually Koreans eat it as a lettuce wrap, or you can pickle them. You can make kimchi with it, infuse it. It's very fragrant and it has so much flavor. All right. Hold on one second. Definitely want to skim. While the butter is still hot, this is when I want to infuse it, my flavoring. So perilla. Going back to the perilla, oh my gosh. So perilla is so fragrant. It's almost like floral. It has a lot of like licorice, anise notes to it. Almost similar to tarragon, but a bit more floral than that. So definitely has a very particular taste to it. If you haven't had perilla, you must try it. I love it. I feel like every Korean loves it. And such an underrated Korean herb. Anyway, so I'm just gonna, I feel like licorice notes go really well with crab. So I'm just gonna slice it up and basically infuse this butter with the perilla. Okay, so perilla, and then also I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic as well. So there's some minced garlic that's gonna go straight in, and basically it's infusing in this butter. I'm gonna put it back on the heat for about 1 minute just so I know that it's gonna infuse really well, but I don't want it to simmer or boil or anything like that. So keep an eye on it. Okay, now we can go and handle our crab. So like I said, I do want to grill it. Do I want to grill it or do I not want to grill it? Because then I don't want the juices to all come out, and I'm gonna test one. I'm gonna test one. This is why we're doing this, right? So I can test it.
Wow, look at that meat.
It's insane. I mean, if I had to choose between king crab and lobster, hands down king crab. Like seriously, it's not even a question, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you, Ben, right?
I love crab more than lobster.
Me too.
Yeah, don't hate on me. I mean, it's just a crab so sweet and
It's so sweet and it's
Exactly.
rich.
Yeah.
It's like buttery. Crab is the best thing ever.
I mean, lobster's amazing too, but if I had to choose, like...
The thing is, I can eat like pounds and pounds of crab meat, but
yeah,
I can't.
I'm a sucker for crab.
Yeah, I can only eat
crab
like
cakes.
one lobster though.
Like, I could eat like a pound of that.
Yeah. With lobster, you can't even. I feel like I can't eat that much lobster. I don't know. That's just me though. Everyone's different. But I'm gonna throw this on the grill just because I want to see if grilling the crab will, you know, give another dimension of flavor, like some smokiness. But it might lose its flavor too. So I don't know. I don't want that to happen. So, all right.
Well, that's why it's a test.
It's a test. Oh, my butter. You can tell that it was like simmering a little bubbles. So I'm gonna let that infuse. But I want this to completely cool before I make my sauce with it. Okay, so we'll keep that aside, let it cool while we test our crab. In the meantime, I still need to handle the rest of my crabs, and I'll do that. And some people don't like eating crab because I feel like if the crab is small, then it's really hard to pick through the meat. That's why I love king crab, because it is so insanely meaty. All you have to do is that, like, get your shears, cut it, and then you can just like pick out huge chunks of meat, right? And this is the beauty of king crab. So easy to handle. If I had my Joyce Chens, it would be much easier. But I left them at home. You guys know what I'm talking about with the Joyce Chens, right? I don't think it... You gotta be a kitchen person to know that. But that looks freaking great. I don't know. I'm gonna just give...
I can smell that from here.
Right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a taste and compare it with just the fresh and see what tastes better. Well, it has to be the same part of the crab, to be fair. So I'm gonna have to cut up this part. Right, Ben? Because all the crab always, of course, depending on where you're eating it from, tastes different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different texture.
Right? Different texture, different flavor. So to be fair, I'm gonna eat it from the same part. Whew, hot. Hot. All right. But, I don't know, that looks pretty good, the grilled. I like that smokiness. It's kind of like a charred, smoky flavor that it gives. And you know what? It doesn't lose its...
But is it still sweet?
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't lost its flavor.
Okay.
But definitely has that grilled taste to it, which...
I think I would probably prefer it
With-
uncooked. That's just my preference. But don't get me wrong, I love it grilled as well, like broiled.
All right, come taste it then.
Here, throw it in here.
This versus that.
Okay. Wow.
The grilled,
Grilled is very good.
it's so good.
Very, very good.
It definitely has like a smoky, charred
Yeah.
flavor to it.
Surprisingly good.
I kind of like
It's
it.
able to retain all that flavor.
Yeah. It's still flavorful.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was afraid that if you grill it, then you lose some of that flavor profile, which I don't want. But then
You know what? After tasting the I love both. I really, really.
So why don't we do both? I have enough crab. We'll
Yeah.
test 2 on the bun with the sauce.
Yeah.
We're gonna do both.
I love both.
I love both too. I can't
Yeah.
decide.
It's like, it's a tie.
So it's a tie. We don't know. So what I'm gonna do is do both. I'm gonna test it as an assembled sandwich because with the butter and stuff, it might be different. Who knows? Okay, so we'll do 2 different batches. So,
Well, you know what? We'll have Rob taste test
right.
at the end.
Will he even know the difference? Well, he'll know what's good and
Yeah.
what's better.
We won't tell him which is cooked.
He'll have
which
no
isn't.
idea.
So we'll ask him what his opinion is.
Yeah, we'll do that. Sorry, Rob, but let's be real. You're not gonna know. You're just gonna be like, oh, this one's good. Right, nice. All right. I definitely want to get all of this like crab gut all in there. You know what I mean? Like all these like, this is all flavor right there. I'm gonna make sure that this warms up a little bit. But the grilled crab meat, I'm just gonna give it a chop. Make sure that they're in chunks, but big chunks, you know?
Generous chunk.
Generous, big chunks. Do not want this to be flaky. I want it to mimic a lobster roll, you know? Look at that. Oh my God, it's gonna be insane. Okay. Rest of it looks good. I'm gonna take some of this clarified butter and just dress it slightly. Not a lot, just slightly. This one has not been grilled. This one's gonna get a little bit of that butter seasoning. And then what I'm doing is I'm just putting this on the heat for a little so I can make sure that it's completely defrosted. So it was a little frozen. Okay, so now for the sauce, my clarified butter has cooled. That's key. You don't want to use like hot liquid when you're making the sauce. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm making an aioli. I'm making a mayo. But I'm going to make it with this infused clarified butter. Like I said, the crab meat is so delicate and beautiful and it has so much flavor. I really don't want to like overpower it with other ingredients. So I'm going to keep the sauce super simple. That's why I decided to infuse the butter instead of like adding chunks of perilla to it. So I feel like that might be too strong. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I'm using the yolk of the egg. Nice, clean, I don't want any of this. Doing 2 yolks, tiny bit of garlic. And actually, I'm not gonna add any salt because I tasted the king crab and they are very briny and I do not want this to be salty. Definitely don't want it to be salty. Lobsters are not briny at all. There are actually no salt to lobster, so you have to add salt, but like the king crab is definitely super briny, very salty. I don't want to use any salt for now. We'll taste it at the end. You can always add salt, but you can't take away salt, so. All right, so my clarified butter. Let me do a swap. Oh, you know what I did forget though? I do want to add acid. So I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice.
Balance out the flavor.
Of course, always. You always need acid in it, any type of mayo. So do some lime juice. Right, and the lime juice will also help it emulsify. Right, let's do this. So, Gently adding the clarified butter. Drizzling it in very, very slowly. You can tell when it's starting to become emulsified. And I want it nice and thick, not too loose. Take a look at it now. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, but I think I want to go a little bit more. You see? But it's starting to thicken slightly. Tiny bit more. Maybe like one more ladle. Just gonna... Only way to know is to taste. Oh my God. Dude, that perilla flavor really comes through. It's amazing. All we did was infuse it, but it's like there, but it's not overpowering. That's important. But I think the salt level is perfect. Actually, like I'm not gonna salt the aioli at all. It's perfect. I feel like it needed a little bit more acid though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the rest of the lime to the actual crab meat. You can always add more. Just gonna start with that. You know what, just to add a tiny bit of it, I know that I didn't want to overpower the crab, but I do feel like some freshness is nice, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of fresh perilla, just a little bit. A tiny bit of that. Just like a little onion flavor, not a whole lot. And the perilla just... I'm literally doing a tiny bit of each because I really don't want to overpower the crab meat. One other thing, I just want to chop these chilies up too. Beautiful aioli. Doesn't that look so gorgeous? Give it a nice toss. That looks amazing. Okay, now for the grilled. You can literally smell the crab, the hint of perilla, a little bit of that onion from the scallion. And that's like pretty much it. But obviously you guys know I need to taste it. I mean, you wouldn't even know this is king crab. It looks like lobster. Holy shit! All right, taste the fresh one. This one's... You know what it is? The grilled and the non-grilled one. Definitely the one that hasn't been grilled is, the meat is a little bit more delicate. The one that I grilled has a firmer texture. Add like a tiny bit of lime juice to this as well. I like acid. Oh. Damn. Now we're gonna toast the buns. So let's talk about the buns real quick. I have a classic like top sliced bun. And I think this is a butter roll. And I also got these King Hawaiian rolls, which is a lot sweeter. If you had King Hawaiian rolls, it's very, very sweet. They're really, really good. I didn't know which one to get, so I got both because we're gonna taste it and see what we like better. So I'm gonna grill these real quick. Quick grill. Okay. Let's do this thing. All right, and then we'll do one here. Ah, it looks so good. Right? All right, so I mean, I'm gonna cut it in half because I just, you know, I want to share. I'm not gonna eat this whole thing. That'll be greedy, but get that. So this was the one that has not been grilled. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my God. I feel bad for you guys because you're not eating this and you're watching me eat it. So I feel bad. Because it's like, I mean, how can it not be good, right? It's king crab with clarified butter aioli. The meat that hasn't been grilled, definitely it's much lighter texture. It's like very, very soft. Not tough at all. I feel like the grilled one, that was the problem. It kind of had, it has a nice smoky flavor to it, but it's definitely, the meat definitely toughened up a little bit. Mmm. But still seriously good. It's a little bit different, you know, it has like a smoky flavor to it.
Wait, which is the one you're eating right now?
This one's the grilled.
Okay.
The first one I tried was the non-grilled. Damn. The perilla is so good, but you can't tell that it's perilla. You can't tell that it's gennip. It's just you get an essence of it. I mean, there's no way in hell that someone would not like this. It's literally perfect. I think way better than a lobster roll. I mean, also it's very expensive. I mean, king crab is really expensive. So you're definitely paying for it, but I'm just saying it's better. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my God. I'm definitely making this for my sister's wedding. 100%. My sister is having her wedding here and doing the food. This is definitely going to be on that menu. I'm going to make it in like little tiny buns. It'll be like little king crab rolls. Mmm. I must say, I was a little bit nervous about the perilla butter, but it works so well with this. It works really, really well. But I'm wondering if that's because I'm familiar with the flavor of perilla. I'm wondering if you're not Korean, how you might take it. So we're gonna go bring this to Rob, my partner. And he'll be the final taste tester. He'll be our guinea pig. What a lucky guy. Sit down, pal.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, friend.
Hi, friend.
What are we trying?
What does this look like to
Are
you?
we starting? This looks like a lobster roll
But it's not.
that I would get in Montauk.
We're not in Montauk.
Oh,
We're at
okay.
Miss You.
We're in the Lower East Side.
But it's not a lobster roll.
Okay.
It's kind of like a lobster roll, but it's made with king crab.
Yum.
Okay? Of
looks
course, I
delish.
just happen to have like gloves in my pocket. I'm gonna cut it in half,
Yum.
just so that, you know, I want you to
What's
try.
this? What's this?
I just
Sprinkles of seasoning. What is
want
this?
you to like just taste it.
Sure.
And tell me which one you like more. Okay.
Why, they're different?
Slightly different. Slightly. Let's see how good your palate is. Know the difference.
I know nothing about food.
There you go. That one first.
Yum.
This one for you.
Oh, this is good.
So good, right?
Yeah. Did I just spit on you?
Huh?
Did I spit on you?
No.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
thought I felt something.
I like this.
You like it?
Oh.
If I haven't told you that it was a king crab roll, would you know that it's a king crab?
I wouldn't.
You would think that it's lobster
I would
roll?
think it's a lobster roll. Yeah, 100%. I don't
You
have
had
a
no
palate.
idea.
I have no palate for this stuff.
It's like, might as well just use lobster then.
No,
Because
people will be able to tell. I mean, maybe not me, but people will be able to tell.
Because you know how king crab is really expensive. You know,
And lobster rolls are already what, $30 each?
this would be like freaking $50.
50 balls, dude. That's way too much. Let me try. What's next? This one?
Yeah. Can you tell that there's a difference?
Am I too close?
You're a little close. I'm
Am I
like,
too close?
why are you
Oh, sorry.
coming closer?
I don't know. I'm getting comfortable.
Getting like closer
I'm
to
getting
closer.
comfortable. Yeah, sorry.
Can you tell that there's a slight difference?
Yeah, is this king crab too?
It's king crab.
I don't know. It tastes lighter to me. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird.
Does that make
You're
sense?
You're totally right.
I am.
Yeah, because if this one has not been grilled, and the other one you had has been grilled, the lobster, the crab meat.
Interesting. I like this one better.
Yeah.
The one that's not grilled. Correct?
Isn't it like kind of lighter?
It's
almost
lighter.
Like salady.
Very much so. It's not heavy.
Yeah,
not heavy
it's
at all.
weird because
Dude, I'm dripping everywhere.
it's fine.
Sorry, I'm dripping.
This is like one of those things that you just kind of eat.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
It's so good though, right?
This is like major boner. Is that bad? This is major boner food.
I mean, I was literally saying in the kitchen that this should be illegal because it's so
It's so good.
good.
There's like,
It's like sinful.
this is like $55. Easy.
Literally.
Literally.
And also like the mayo sauce. I made the mayo and I made it with butter.
It better be Korean.
Of course it's
Right,
Korean.
it has to be.
There's also perilla leaf in it, which I don't know if you can taste that.
No.
It's like the slight hint of like anise licoricey flavor that you get.
I didn't get that. Sorry, I didn't get that.
I mean, it's not.
I didn't
it's
get
not
that
supposed to
part.
be- It's not supposed to be overpowering. Like I want you to be tasting crab. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be tasting like all these other flavors. I want.
I
it to be
taste all crab.
Good.
And it's delicious. Boner.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Major.
Rob's palate is not refined enough to get
I'm not
notes of
refined.
perilla and scallion.
I don't look refined to you. I'm so refined. Anyway.
God. So I'm trying to teach you about food.
I'm learning. Educate me, Esther Choi.
But I'm glad I'm glad that you like the salt.
Watch the bus. We
all
just
this
got,
shit.
street dust on our crab roll.
I know, right? It's like you don't know what you're eating. It's actually the dust and pollen on top of the crab
Yeah,
rolls.
that's the extra ingredients. Dust and New York
Oh, what's that? A slight hint of spiciness that I'm getting.
New York pollution, which is very flavorful. Anyway,
It's that New York street flavor.
holler.
What you know about that?
What you know about that? What you know about that gold chain? That's New York right there, representing.
Represent.
Represent New York. Anyway, no, I enjoyed
You like?
this. Yes, this is very expensive.
You gotta finish that one. I mean, it's.
I mean, I love expensive.
It's experiment.
Don't
fun.
don't you love expensive?
I mean, don't we all?
Yes, we all love
Don't
expensive.
we all? It's literally crab meat that I had left over from my parents' house. No, but it was like still
Did you like patch the crab?
I caught the crab myself. I went to Alaska.
Oh shit! Then this should be $100 each.
No, more than that. Hello.
Oh,
my
sorry.
blood, sweat, and tears.
That's true. That should at least be $100.
You gotta finish this one.
Oh my god, I know.
Because, you know, every little bite of the crab
give this to them.
is like $5.
$5 a piece. This is delish though. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Esther.
welcome.
I need you in
Okay.
I need you in my kitchen. This is the bomb.
I
The
mean,
bomb diggity.
Better be. It's
Yeah, this is a
fucking
win-win.